doing this presentation with Madam Hannah Awadzi, and we are presenting on in the name of Ubuntu, how the Special Mothers Project is changing the lives of mothers and their children with disabilities in Ghana. So the outline of our presentation, I will explain what social work means. I believe those of us who have a background in it have an idea of what it means. And then the concept of Ubuntu, I will also touch on that. And then Madam Hannah will also run Madam Hannah will also go through the Special Mothers Project with us and how it is changing the lives of mothers and their children with disabilities in Ghana. All right, so social work has a main or a primary mission of enhancing the human well-being and then helping people to meet their basic needs. And what it also means is that social work pays attention to the needs and empowerment of people, especially those who are considered as vulnerable, those who are living in poverty, those who are oppressed. And when we talk about disabled people, they are considered as one of the vulnerable groups in Ghana. And then in this part of our world in Ghana, people usually have interpretations of disability in Ghana centering around traditional and religious beliefs. Both of us are parents who are raising children with a disability, so we are talking from experience as well. We have had experiences where we go to places and people will be asking us what happened, what you should have done, right, that you didn't, as if you are being punished for some sins you have committed in the past, and they will actually prescribe some, what I would say, ridiculous measures for you to follow to heal your child. All right, so all these interpretations have contributed to the discrimination, stigmatization, and social exclusion that children with disabilities and their caregivers face in Ghana. All right, and so when you look at the legal provisions, Ghana, of course, has some provisions in place to protect children with disability and then people with disability in general. So we have the Disability Act, Act 715, the Children Act, Act 560, and then the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And despite the existence of all these provisions, children with disabilities still face several challenges, some of which I've touched on: discrimination, negative attitudes, lack of or limited access to education and healthcare. I had a mother walk up to me telling me how she was just prevented from dropping her kids at school. They are all both they are twins who are on the spectrum, they are autistic. So one day she just goes to drop them at school, and then the security man tells her that they are not going to allow her to enter or drop the kids. They wouldn't allow her to talk to the management team. They just told her not to bring the children at school again because they are causing a lot of distraction in the classroom. So she was just weeping. Well, I didn't know what to do myself because we share similar experiences. And yet we have legal provisions in place that are supposed to be protecting children with disabilities. So when we talk of Ubuntu, it means I am because you are. So it has its origins in an African philosophy and interpreted to mean I am because you are. So basically, it talks about being there for one another, being humane towards one another, being connected with one another, communality, a sense of communality where we have a collective responsibility and sharing when it comes to looking out for one another. It also promotes an idea of kindness and reciprocity, where we are treating others with kindness and respect and dignity, and also giving back and showing gratitude. So if this mother with the autistic twins had been treated with respect and dignity, she wouldn't have found herself in the situation that she found herself. So I will hand over the microphone to Madam Hannah. She's the CEO of the Special Mothers Project. So she will tell us how she was inspired by the concept of Ubuntu. Instead of waiting for government to step in to help us, what can we also do to help mothers or caregivers raising children with disabilities in Ghana? So she will talk more about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the Special Mothers Project, like she said, it started with a mother, myself, having a child with cerebral palsy. And at the time, I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only person in the world who has had a child who was 2 years at the time. He wasn't walking, or talking, or crawling, or sitting. So I used to just go sit around in church, praying and asking God to help me. And then I heard a mother come to give a testimony in church one day saying that, oh, she had a child who wasn't walking and she walked. So that day I lighted up and said, I'm not alone. And after the church service, I walked to this mother and asked her about her child. And the only thing that struck me that day was when I was leaving, after we've had a discussion, and she said, oh, thank you for encouraging me. And this mother's child who had Down syndrome was far older than my daughter. Her daughter was walking and everything. So I'm looking at myself and saying, did she say I'm encouraging her? If that is what she says, then I'm going to look for mothers. And that is how the Special Mothers Project was birthed. And in fact, we share the same challenges, similar challenges, like my Dr. Abbey said, the stigma, the religious, whatever, people seeing you as maybe you haven't sinned and all those things. So creating a community where we could share experiences without judgment and where we could vent our frustration and also encourage one another was what formed the Ubuntu spirit that formed the Special Mothers Project. And it focuses on parents of children with cerebral palsy, but we also have parents of children with Down syndrome, autism, OI, Rett syndrome, all the others that you wouldn't hear of. Parents find a space within. There's an online platform, WhatsApp, to come vent and talk about their experiences and everything else that comes with it. So as she said, Ubuntu. So it's an online platform where the mothers share information, encourage one another, we share our frustrations, then we do a lot of peer counseling. So this is what happened when my child had this, and we share that experiences. We share our low and high moments, and we, apart from just being online on WhatsApp, we have social media presence, Facebook and other. We do organize a lot of, we used to do a lot of physical activities. COVID reduced it, but we still do training, workshops, meeting together and sharing experiences with our children and professionals. And then one of the main things we do is that we advocate for support systems. Like my co-presenter said, we have the laws in the books, but they are not practical when you want to test the laws. So there are no support systems if you have a child like this. My daughter is only 10 and I have changed about 9 schools already. Because you see that they are tired of her in the school. And when I see the treatment, I just have to withdraw my child and look for the next available school that is willing to support. So we talk about what the policies ought to be and how we will be able to, together as parents, implement these policies. And we've done a lot of policy engagement with policy makers and others. And we are very present on social media for people to create awareness and people to know that this exists. And also, many of the parents are unable to work. The fact is, if you do not have a core and strong support system, you will not be able to work when you have a child with cerebral palsy or autism or in Ghana. There are no not many professional caregivers who can sit in for you, so you always have to be there. So a lot of the parents have left their jobs, and sometimes it's just a single home, a single parent. And so we try to get financial assistance, set some of them up in small things like buying a popcorn machine for someone, training someone in liquid soap making, doing something that will help. And then we try to partner certain schools to help. So when we get some of these things, we give to schools that are accepting our children to encourage them to accept them more. One of the things we've done is also try to have a referral guide for the parents. So a parent will say, oh I live in this place, I want a school for my child, and then we refer the parent to that place or the professional that they need. And then sometimes you feel very isolated. I don't go for social functions. So I'm always home because you can't leave the child for a long time. So but when we are meeting as parents, we understand each other and we can take your children. Sometimes we do have end of year parties. Sometimes a parent is celebrating their child's birthday, and then we all go with our children. We try to create fun, dance, talk, share the things that will be sad for some people. We will talk about it and laugh because it's common to us. So it's a form of entertainment for us to also use. And then training programs. A lot of the parents need emotional support, even going through the cycle of grief as a parent, how you come to accept that this is your child and you have to manage it. So we get professionals, we train ourselves and help the parents to improve on the yeah. So we want to say that creating a world of inclusion and equity for children with disabilities is very important. And we all have a role to play. Social workers are needed. In Ghana, we don't talk about them much, but they can integrate the concept of into their practice to promote social justice and equality and empowerment for us caregivers and our children with disabilities.